Hi, and welcome back to the Skull Knives channel. My name's Chris, owner of Skull Knives, and in the last video I talked about the steels that we use in our knives, but I cocked up a bit. I forgot to mention one of the most important steels that we do. I love it, so I thought I'd do a separate video on Damascus steel. Now, this, if you've never heard, most of you probably have heard of Damascus, but this is Damascus steel. This is a ladder pattern. This is one of my favourite patterns. It's beautiful. We also have this one. It's also kind of like a slanted ladder pattern. Again, just stunning blades, absolutely stunning. Let's find another one. This one, again, ladder pattern again. These are our classic Hunter range. This particular one's got an olive wood handle and some white spacers. So a brief history on Damascus steel. Originally it wasn't called Damascus, it was called wootz steel, W-O-O-T-Z. It originated in southern India and Sri Lanka, and it was famed, it became legendary for being extremely sharp and very resilient for swords and knives. It started life roughly sort of 300 to 500 AD. And by the time it got to 7 to 900 AD, the people in the Middle East were actually importing this wootz steel, and particularly in Syria. I nearly forgot that. Which, of course, the capital of which is Damascus. And that's really where it gets its name from, the modern name, Damascus steel. They didn't necessarily make it. They bought the steel from India and turned it into blades. Even the Crusaders, King Richard and the Crusaders, they would have experienced it out in the fighting in the Middle East. And I think it was quite famed because it was a lot better than a lot of European steels at that time, and it could actually cut through armour. So it'd be quite devastating if you came across somebody with a wootz steel sword. What we have now isn't wootz steel. This is not a wootz steel. Wootz steel is kind of lost. There are experts trying to recreate it, but so far, to my knowledge, you can't get it. This is what they call pattern welded Damascus. So basically, it's layers of two different steels that are basically hammered together. That's the best way to describe it by a blacksmith. All of my Damascus is 1095 high carbon steel mixed with 15 and N20 high nickel steel. And when you actually work this steel, it doesn't have this beautiful pattern. It basically looks like that, just plain steel. So what you have to do is to etch it in ferric chloride. I can't talk. Ferric chloride is like an acid, so it's an acid etch. And what that does is all the 1095 high carbon steel in it actually goes black or very dark grey, whereas the high nickel steel stays silver. So you get this beautiful, beautiful pattern. It's very, very good for knife making. It's very good for using. I mean, it sits at around 58, 59 HRC. So it's quite a hard steel, quite forgiving. It's not going to snap easily. And I'll be honest, I quite like it. I just love the pattern, really. Yeah, what else can you say? While I'm on, our blacksmith, Dr. Zek, has produced for us some of these. This particular knife is a Danelaw Seax. Now, these would have been used in the UK under the Danelaw period and carried as a general tool, maybe a weapon, but usually just for whatever you needed to cut. Food prep, anything really. This is, like I said, the 9th century. Beautiful blades, 1084 carbon steel, stacked birch bark, brass spacers, and a bit of curly birch on the end of the handle there. So that's that one. And the second one, this is an Anglo-Saxon version. So slightly smaller, slightly different design. We've done this with a solid oak handle. It has copper and aluminium spacers, and just a little bit of a brass tube there, just to give it a bit of detail. Especially Anglo-Saxon knives, the more intricate they were, the higher the status of the person that owned them. So this would have been, I guess, somebody of some status, because it's got a bit of bling. Right, that's it for tonight. I will be doing tomorrow. I'll be doing a video tomorrow about the handles, like I promised. So I'll see you then. Cheerio.